you think you got to go power against power? No, dude. You just got to put the barrel on the ball.
Yeah.
And it's going to go.
Hello, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And for many of you fans, you probably already know what this video is, just based on the title, of course. And, we lost 0-2 against the Rays, and it was tough pill to swallow, but we're going to just give our thoughts and reactions and just talk about the season, talk about the game, and how we feel.
We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about what happened in these playoffs. Before we get into that, though, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Also, ring the bell to this YouTube channel. Means a lot to both of us. So, this is the first time that we've been back into the postseason since 2016. Obviously, extremely different squad. Across
literally,
the board,
I don't think there's a single person other than like Pete Walker.
Yeah, I was thinking who is the same, and there's
Pete Walker.
Yeah,
that's all I can imagine.
So completely different team, and their first trip as young kids, as like for some of them middle age, like Randall Grichuk. Well, it's not his first trip to the postseason, but for a Blue Jay, yes, it is. And we went and we played the number 1 seed. We played the Tampa Bay Rays. We knew they were going to be tough. I don't think that we knew that they were going to be that tough.
I thought, when we were talking earlier in our season preview, we were like, oh, these guys are so beatable. And, they are beatable, but they just are, they're veteran guys. They've done it before. They've been winning, Blake Snell's winning Cy Youngs, and Glasnow's just doing, incredible fastball. Their whole team is just very complete, and they showed it. They showed it against us. When we made mistakes, they capitalized, especially with that, Boba was pretty solid defensively all year long, only gave up 3 errors, and he gave up 2 in Game 2. One of them right after the error leading to that grand slam, which definitely sealed it for us. So we showed our weaknesses, we showed our youth, and I think the guys recognize that. I've watched a couple of videos of them talk, and they recognize this is just a learning experience. It's just
I will say, I totally agree with you on Bichette. However, regardless, even if those errors never occurred, it still would have been. They would have been up by 3, and we weren't even able to score 3. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe the momentum would have shifted. We don't know. But obviously it happened, and we ended up throughout the entirety of that series scoring 3 runs in 2 games. That's not good.
It's short.
I mean, it is 2 games, right? But to score 1 in Game 1 and then 2 in Game 2, you can't expect to win unless you have maybe the best pitching performances ever. And in Game 2, we didn't. Our ace, our guy, I still love him. He's still great. But he didn't have a great game. And they were on him from the beginning. They came in with a game plan. And a lot of the analysts, and I would tend to agree with them, said he didn't have his fastball. He didn't have the velocity going on his fastball, and then he wasn't able to establish his other pitches accordingly. Yeah. And I think that is very true. For the first 2 innings or so, I sadly missed it because of work. But I was looking on. I watched a bit of it, sneakily. But I was also watching. They have a pitch tracker on the MLB app. It's great. If you can't watch the games, you can kind of see where they're going. Yeah. And I was seeing Ryu 87 mile per hour fastball. And
we haven't seen that all year.
And that's just simply not good enough, and definitely not good enough in the postseason against Tampa Bay Rays when Glasnow's throwing 99.
Yeah, you could try all day to find a reason why he was throwing 87. You could say, he was tired, or the rest, or you just simply, my reason is he just did not have it. You just did not have it today. And sometimes pitchers just do not have it.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks that it has to happen in one of the most important games, probably the most important game of the entire season for us.
Definitely the most
important game. But it is what it is, and we lost that game. I never felt like watching the whole game like we had a fighting chance.
No,
I never felt like there was that one moment in game one where I think we had the runner our time running at the plate in the 8th inning, but they had Nick Anderson in. And like you're asking a lot to score a lot of runs off Nick Anderson.
Not once in that 2-game series did I feel like we were I felt that they were in another tier.
Yeah,
than
we weren't threatening to them.
No, we weren't threatening. Like it wasn't. Like you watch some games, and even though like the score of those games might be the same as the score in these games.
Mm-hmm.
You watch them and there's a different mentality. It's like we're getting to them or we're like we're getting unlucky.
We're pressuring their pitches.
Pressuring them. I feel like we are like putting up good at bats at least. I didn't feel that way at all.
There was a few, I remember in game one, a lot of the young hitters didn't have good at bats.
No.
Biggio loved almost all of his at bats all year long. I gotta say, I didn't like a single one of his at-bats.
Especially, I found in Game 2.
Yeah.
In Game 2, it seemed like Biggio's game plan was, I'm going to take, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I saw him take, I saw him take stuff that I've never really seen him take before, and I know it's fast, bro. Like Glasnow's quick,
but and I've seen some in between swings for him. Like there was one Glasnow fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he was so in between and you can tell when a hitter's in between whether whether he's sitting on fastball or sitting on breaking ball because his swing was geared up to hit the curveball, but we released at the time of the fastball, and it was a fastball, but he was waiting for the curveball, so he had one of these swings where it's just like I'm just throwing a barrel at it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're completely out of place.
And it just showed us. I was hoping that the guys coming into postseason would carry this. They were all speaking like this is like any other game. We're not worried. This is. I mean, deep down in human bones, what this game is, and you're gonna try your best to make the play, to get the hit. But when that's your mentality, I'm gonna try to win it for the team right now. You forget your actual game plan. That's not like any other game. Any other game is I'm taking this one game at a time. I'm letting the ball come to me, and they were forcing their sticks.
I can't. I'm going to ad-lib this. This is not what Danny Jansen said, but he said something similar to this. I read it today. I don't want to go through the process of finding it. But he had a quote, and he was basically saying it was along the lines of, again, not what he said. This is my interpretation.
Yeah.
We knocked on the door this year. Next year, we're going to bust through. Is what he was talking about. And that's kind of what it was. It felt to me like we got it's as if all your friends are having a party, or even not even that. It's like people having a party, and a guy who knows a guy, and they invite you, and then we end up at this party, and we're like, are we really supposed to be here? Should we be at this party right now?
Yeah.
And the answer this year was no. You're not ready to be at this party. You're not at this party yet.
I remember one analyst was saying and I think you brought up to me, it was that. The American League is divided up into 3 tiers. There's 7 teams that don't belong in the postseason. There's 7 teams that definitely belong in the postseason, and then there's the Toronto Blue Jays. And because we're in the postseason because there's got to be 8, but we're also we weren't expected to be here. So honestly, I'm happy they made it to postseason. I would have loved from a fan perspective to see a little bit of a push. In these 2 games.
From a baseball analyst perspective, I'm upset that we weren't. No, maybe not upset. Maybe just a little bit disappointed that we weren't I never felt at any
Yeah.
point during these games that we were in it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think we talked about it, we just said it, it's like, I knew, like, almost from that first pitch, it's like, like, I don't get the sensation that we have this game right here,
But what's great, it's like, we always, they're always talking, like, the Jays, like, this is only going to be learning for them. Like, when they come back to here, they're going to be familiar with these feelings. And they got to be able to blend season play with postseason play in terms of their approach, everything. Oops, I was talking for the mic. Everything they've done throughout the season, they have to do it in the season. It's not. It literally can't be any different.
It's the difference between the good and the great. And do you have the ice in your veins to when. And this is universal among sports, like when it's hockey and like you guys are down a goal and you pull the goalie. Do you have the ice in the veins to nail that shot? When it's football and you're down a touchdown and you got a minute left on the clock, do you have the ice in the veins to hit the touchdown? Or when there's a man on second and you're down by 2, can you score that man and get on yourself? That's what it comes down to, and that separates who's ready to play in the postseason and who's not. And we showed that we are not currently ready. My question to you is, next year, what do we need to do? What do we need to accomplish, and what are some expectations that you have coming into next year that you want to see?
So what do we need to accomplish next year?
If we want to make ourselves and establish ourselves as a postseason team, what is step 1 for these guys?
What do we need to do? Well, from a front office standpoint, we got to figure out what that rotation is. That's number 1. Because first of all, if we are going to play 162 games next year, we got to be able to get that rotation locked in. We got lucky we made it through this year. If Taijuan Walker goes down with an injury, we're done. If Robbie Ray goes down with an injury, we're done. Your injuries are going to happen. So we got to be able to lock in a solid 5. Like, I want to be going to a season excited about 5, whether it be with like a Pearson, with a Baraki or a K or someone in that rotation, about a Hatch, with a Ryu and potentially an off-season signing. I would love that.
Bro, it felt like the whole year we were like hanging by a thread.
Yeah, we were dangling.
It's like, we were like skating that line, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like at any moment, like the ice underneath us could give way.
Yeah, you know what it could have been too? Like Ryu was the push pin keeping us in, and if we lost Ryu at any point,
game over.
We're done.
Game over.
We're absolutely
completely game over.
So we need another pitching. That's what I expect the front office to do. What I expect the lineups to do, and everyone else for performance wise. I expect for our rotation to have someone to break out. We need someone to break out and lock down a spot. That's my expectation. That's what I would want.
Like pitching, you mean?
Pitching.
Yeah. Okay,
in our rotation, and then for lineup, I expect the guys just to get better. That's it. Like, they already got better. Now keep getting better.
Yeah, keep getting better.
Keep getting better.
And we're gonna be breaking those guys down as we go. But like,
yeah.
I mean, I was talking to you, and like I think it was like so on display through these 2 games. It's like we need to figure out a way to hit a fastball that is fast. We gotta like at least we have to contend with it, because like there are points where Glasnow is like. It's
pumping it down the middle.
Exactly. It's like, and he knew it's like we're not gonna get to it, and we were trying to, and we were just off. We just
couldn't square it up.
Exactly.
We just could not square up the fastball.
If you have some guys that can square up that bloody fastball, like maybe we win that game. Maybe we smack Glasnow around. He gets in his head. And we take that away from him, but we never had that.
You know what I'd be doing if I was the pitching coach? For a batter getting warmed up for the season, don't have them face live pitching like our pitchers, because not only Pearson throws 100.
Bro, I was thinking that.
Get a pitching machine, crank it up to 100, and just have them hit that for like a month.
Because, dude,
just have them hit that for a month.
I was straight up thinking, I'm just like, maybe it's like we're not that good at hitting the fastball, because like we don't have any flamethrowers to like pitch in simulated games and stuff.
Exactly. That's why we need to crank the pitching machine up, even though it's a pitching machine. It's not going to have the right timing. It's not going to, like, because when you're a hitter, you want to time like the pitcher's delivery, when they release the ball. Like, that's all part of your timing. But you gotta find and figure out a way to help that hitter hit that 100-mile-per-hour fastball, get the pitch machine, do that, and then maybe Pearson can help him out. I don't know, but those guys need extensive training to hit the fastball, the 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Exactly, bro. It's like, and the thing is too, I find this so shocking. You know, Garrett Cole, like one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. You know, finished with like a 2 point, I don't know, very good ERA, but he was right up there for like the league in home runs. And it tells you that it's like when you can, and his fastball is very, very good.
Yeah.
But when it's coming at you at like 98, if you can square that thing up,
that's all you need to do.
It's gone.
That's all you need to do.
It's gone.
Why do you think our only runs in Game 2 came from 2 solo shots from Danny Jansen? And Danny Jansen wasn't swinging out of his ass. He was just an easy stroke through the zone. It was right there. Danny Jansen was getting ready for the fastball.
Like, it comes at you so fast, it almost does the work for you.
That's all it is. He provides the power. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So you don't need to... You think you got to go power against power? No, dude. You just got to put the barrel on the ball.
Yeah.
And it's going to go.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised. So that's what they need to do. That's what I think.
Okay. I completely agree with all of that. I was also thinking today, this is like kind of shifting gears, but for next year.
Yeah.
What are our, maybe we got to do a whole video on this, but like we'll just touch on it right now. Like, what are like our expectations for, you know, record and like making postseason? Because I was like,
we gotta do a whole video on that one.
I was like, I'm gonna be a bit, because I'm not upset now, but I think I would be a little bit upset if we didn't make postseason next year.
Yeah, depending on what the format is.
If the
format's still 16 team, we gotta make postseason next year. Absolutely. However, we don't know yet, so it's kind of tough. If they go back to the original, it's gonna be very tough because not only do we have to get third in our division, obviously, but that means we have to beat out, because I don't see us beating Tampa or New York in record next year. I don't see us doing that.
I think and here's the thing is like, I agree with you, but I'm like, at some point, 1 year, and it should be very soon.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not next year, then it has to be the year after that. Like, we have to.
Yeah.
You know, if we have to.
Because here's the thing, like, we won't have to unless we beat every other team in the AL in record, because then us and Tampa will be wild card, right? So, or New York, whichever one is first or second. But you know, I kind of hope they stick with the 16 team, but they change up a little bit. Like a 3-game series is. But I also want some more value to that first place spot. You know, get a first place bye or something in place.
I would like if we're doing 16 teams, then from my perspective, I want a couple values and like maybe like the top 4 or something like that. You know, and like, because I think that like if you're playing 162 games,
you need some
like you got to be playing for something.
Maybe top 2 in each like league, like so top 4 get buys, and then we have a way where we have some wild cards doing like original wild card series 1-1, and then winner moves on to fill up a hole. I don't know, whatever it might be. I hope that we keep that expanded playoffs, because that honestly makes it way more interesting for a lot of teams, keeps them invested, and because I hate being in this division because it's so bloody hard. It's always been so hard.
We got to take them. We got to take them at some point. You know.
Yeah.
I think for me, I look at this year as like a year that we broke out in the sense that we made playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't wanna regress from that. I don't want to lose that momentum. You know, I want us to take this and then make playoffs next year and then show that we can do better, because that's all on the. I look at it as like, if we're trying to win the World Series 2023, 2024, then we probably don't want to in 2021, you know, fall off the wagon and miss playoffs. Make playoffs.
There's no way. There's like, if they didn't make playoffs next year, I'll be pretty sad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't be pissed off. I'd be pissed, but I wouldn't be like, okay, like I wouldn't say the project's done.
Yeah.
I'd
be worried though.
I'd be a little bit worried. It all depends on how they do in terms of like the players do, and like where's the problem. You know,
what I mean? Think about how like Philly is feeling right
Oh
now.
God! See
You
that?
know,
See,
it's like-
they have a clear problem.
Yeah.
They put way too much money in their lineup and not enough money in their pitching.
Like, well, their bullpen.
Their
Because, like,
bullpen.
their actual
Their depth.
pitching, like,
They got
Wheeler,
some top guys.
Yeah, Wheeler and Nola are phenomenal.
That's it. You know, that's
Yeah.
literally it. That's all they have. Because they it's kind of like the Maple Leaf story.
Yeah.
They bought a bunch of guys for a lot of money, but then you lose that depth that you.
They're definitely missing that bullpen depth, and like I know that the statistic is just cracked on like how many
Yeah.
games their bullpen lost them.
Yeah.
You know, so I honestly kind of feel for Philly a little bit
Yeah.
like that. Like
It's,
you guys should be a
I
a playoff.
I thought you've been a contender for the last 2 years.
Yeah, you definitely should
You know?
be a playoff team with like some of the names, some of the guys that you have,
Yeah.
and they consistently perform as well. So.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we don't follow in their footsteps or
Yeah.
the Maple Leafs' footsteps. But I for next year, take this, put in the back pocket,
Mhm.
grind in the off season. We
Get some
make
pitching.
playoffs, and maybe we make second round next
Yeah.
year.
So-
That's my hope.
I'm down. And guys, so for us, for Blue Jays today, just because it's the end of the season doesn't mean that we're going anywhere. We're going to be coming at you guys with a lot of content covering the whole off season, covering the rest of the postseason, and any kind of like fun ideas that you guys might have, like breaking down certain players and projecting for next year. Like we're gonna be covering all that stuff, and we're getting ready and geared up for next season, for I guess season 2 you'd call it for Blue Jays today.
Exactly. Anyways, folks, let us know what you think in the comments down below. What did this series tell you about the Jays? And what do we need to work on for next year?
And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that notification button, and make sure to follow us on our podcasts. Oh my God, our podcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, and follow us on our Twitter and in our Instagram.
It's only been a full season.
Yeah, I know, right? It's always one slip up. I'm like, who
It's
is
like,
that?
where the hell are we located? Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go.